In the vast landscape of human experience, few inner battles are as poignant and universal as the tension between memory and pride. Friedrich Nietzsche, with his keen eye for dissecting the human soul, encapsulates this struggle in the evocative quote, "I have done that, says my memory. I cannot have done that, says my pride, and remains adamant. Finally, memory yields." These few lines hold a mirror to our psyche, revealing a dance between acceptance and denial, between the truth of our actions and the narratives we build to protect ourselves. Let's dive deeper into this interplay. Memory, on one hand, serves as a relentless archivist. It holds onto facts, moments, and the raw truth of what transpired. Memory doesn't care about how events make us feel. It's impartial, unyielding, and sometimes brutally honest. Pride, on the other hand, is a master of perception. It shapes our sense of self, fortifying the image we wish to project to the world and, more crucially, to ourselves. When these two forces collide, it's often pride that emerges victorious. But at what cost? Imagine a scenario. You've made a mistake, a hurtful word spoken in anger, a promise broken, or an action you deeply regret. Memory whispers the truth. You did this. But pride, ever protective, counters. That's not who you are. You couldn't have done that. This denial feels comforting, like slipping into the warm embrace of a lie that shields you from guilt or shame. Over time, as Nietzsche suggests, memory yields. It's not erased, but reshaped, softened, or buried to align with the narrative pride demands. This phenomenon isn't just an individual experience, it's collective. History, as written by the victors, often reflects the pride of those in power rather than the unvarnished truth. Societies, like individuals, reconstruct memory to fit their self-image. Yet whether on a personal or societal level, this manipulation of memory comes at a cost. It erodes authenticity. It prevents growth, as true growth requires honest reckoning with the past. Consider Stoic philosophy. The Stoics emphasize the importance of confronting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, urged himself to face uncomfortable truths. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Memory, in its raw form, offers us this strength. By acknowledging our missteps, we can learn, adapt, and become better versions of ourselves. Pride, when unchecked, becomes a barrier to this process. But let's not vilify pride entirely. Pride has its virtues. It drives us to hold ourselves to high standards and strive for excellence. The problem arises when pride blinds us to reality, transforming into hubris. When pride becomes so rigid that it refuses to acknowledge faults or failures, it morphs into a destructive force. Here's where Nietzsche's quote becomes especially relevant for today's world. In an age dominated by social media and curated personas, the battle between memory and pride plays out publicly and relentlessly. We're constantly tempted to present a version of ourselves that's polished, flawless, and worthy of admiration. Yet, behind the filters and captions, the truth lingers, and often it's memory that gets sacrificed on the altar of pride. The result? A disconnect between who we are and who we claim to be, leading to feelings of inauthenticity and even anxiety. What's the way forward? How do we reconcile these warring aspects of ourselves? The answer lies in courage. It takes courage to listen to memory's whisper, especially when it speaks of things we'd rather not hear. It takes courage to confront pride and tell it to step aside, to make room for growth and healing. This process isn't easy, but it's necessary. For those navigating this struggle, consider a practical exercise. Begin by journaling. Write down moments where you feel tension between your memory and your sense of self. Be brutally honest with yourself. Reflect on these moments without judgment. Ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? By doing so, you're aligning with the Stoic principle of self-examination, turning challenges into opportunities for improvement. Having established the dynamics of memory and pride, let's delve further into the broader implications. How does this interplay affect our relationships, our communities, and our ability to create a more authentic world? The answer lies in the choices we make in those moments of internal conflict. In relationships, the refusal to confront memory often manifests as unresolved conflicts. Think about the times when apologies are avoided because pride intervenes. "I couldn't have been wrong," pride insists, and memory, with its quiet but persistent truth, gets dismissed. This stubbornness can lead to fractured connections and lingering resentment. Yet, relationships thrive on honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to admit fault. When we let memory speak, when we acknowledge the reality of our actions, we open the door to reconciliation and deeper bonds. On a societal level, the tension between memory and pride is evident in how we confront historical injustices. Nations, much like individuals, often rewrite their pasts to align with a narrative that maintains collective pride. This selective memory can obscure uncomfortable truths, delaying accountability and healing. However, societies that dare to confront their histories, that listen to the voices of memory, can pave the way for progress. South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission is one example of this principle in action, a collective effort to face painful memories for the sake of growth and unity. From a philosophical perspective, Nietzsche's insight challenges us to embrace discomfort as a pathway to self-awareness. While pride shields us from the immediate sting of guilt or failure, it also traps us in a cycle of stagnation. Memory, painful as it may be, is a teacher. It reminds us of our humanity, our capacity for both error and redemption. By leaning into this discomfort, we foster resilience and authenticity. This journey, however, is not without its hurdles. The fear of vulnerability looms large. Admitting to ourselves and others that we've faltered requires humility. Yet, in that humility lies strength. It's in these moments of honest reckoning that we find the seeds of transformation. By choosing to honor memory over pride, we break free from the confines of denial and step into a space of authenticity. As we bring this discussion to a close, let's reflect on the broader message Nietzsche offers. The battle between memory and pride is not one to be won or lost. It's a balancing act. Pride, when tempered with humility, can inspire us to strive for greatness without losing sight of our flaws. Memory, when embraced rather than suppressed, becomes a guidepost, a reminder of where we've been and where we can go. Together, they form a dynamic duo pushing us toward growth and self-discovery. In a world increasingly obsessed with appearances, let's dare to prioritize authenticity. Let's listen to the truths our memories hold, even when they're uncomfortable. Let's challenge our pride to step aside when it stands in the way of growth. In doing so, we not only honor Nietzsche's wisdom, but also pave the way for a more honest and connected existence. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's continue to unravel life's deeper questions together. See you in the next video.